Will's
Been
tearing
missing
off.
Will.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Bamature Hour. I'm Bama John. In this episode, we're going to review how the Bama season is going so far. By the way, it's going great. We'll talk about the stars of the season, the standouts, the notables, the concerns. We'll also provide an outlook and prediction for the rest of the season. And then after talking football in this bye week, we'll take a look at the Bama Hoops team as the season officially starts on Monday. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025, in the year of our Lord. We are joined with the full Bamature crew today. We've got Will K, we've got T-Pain, we've got G-Money. So thanks, guys, for all making it tonight. It's great to have you all in with me. I get to talk less, you get to talk more. We now have over 5,700 subscribers to the YouTube channel and growing. We're headed to 10,000. Come on. If you're listening, subscribe, like, follow, keep us on that path to 10,000. Let's break through that. If you want us to keep bringing you this wonderful content that we do, we need to keep the subscribers jumping on the bandwagon. All right, guys. Will K, quick thoughts as we open this discussion.
Last game was a little bit too scary for me.
Halloween, baby. Woo!
Yeah.
Will looks like he's
Came early.
glowing tonight.
Getting into LSU, if you'll go back to our, August podcast, I will say that I was not impressed with, or wasn't going to be impressed with LSU. I didn't think they were going to be very well. And I was right. They're not very good. It's LSU. They got players, but I'm still, I'm pretty pessimistic when it comes to Alabama football. I look for any way for us to lose, but I don't see it this weekend. Brian Kelly got fired.
Not this weekend, next weekend. Remember, we got a bye week.
So. Oh, I just misspoke. You know what
I mean?
Okay. I just don't see it. So I hope we can have one loss going into Jordan-Hare. That's the goal for me. Because if we have two losses going into Jordan-Hare, that's going to be not so good.
Yeah. T-Pain.
First of all, I want to say, Will K, I like your haircut. Looks really nice.
Thank you.
Looks nice, Will K. Yeah, sporting it nice. And then Gary, you must have got dotted in the eye, baby, or in the shades like Rocky Balboa.
I'm still here. I'm just wearing the aviator.
Oh, I got you. I thought maybe Rocky Balboa.
He's just too cool for school.
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm very happy where we are. Man, 7-1. The home stretch looks favorable. LSU at home, Oklahoma at home, Auburn on the road. So, yeah, I think we're in the fast lane to Atlanta, and on beyond.
G-Money.
I think we can say with pride that this is Alabama football. And, I would say other teams, keep your grubby hands. See what I did there? Off the offensive coordinator. Keep your grubby hands off of Ryan Grubb. We need to keep him around at least until the end of January so we can get the ring. And, man, it feels good. Like Will K said, we've had some we've had some moments, but we kind of predicted that in our South Carolina pregame. It was going to be a tough game and everything, and just I guess resilience is the name of the game right now, and our boys are showing it.
Yeah, guys, this team is really resilient. I remember doing our instant reaction with Gary after that FSU debacle, and I still felt like we could play a whole lot better, and I thought there was a lot of coaching issues. I thought Ty played well. I'm glad that my optimism that loss, we weren't as bad as that loss showed, that these guys turned it around. We're a great team. We're one. I will say that I think we're one of the 5 best teams in the country. I'm really only scared of 3 teams. There are 3 teams that scare me. Can we lose to other teams? If we played Georgia again, could we lose to them? Could we lose to Ole Miss? I mean, there are other teams that we could lose to, but really, Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas A&M scare me. I think those are going to be tough ass. That's going to be, but okay, we might have to play Texas A&M in the SEC championship game. I think that's likely, but guess what? We can get another shot of it in the playoffs. And I like our chances in a rematch if we have to play them and we lose that one. And I will say this about Ohio State, and I will say this about Indiana. Who have they played? How
Right.
good is the Big Ten? I'm not sure the Big Ten's all that it's cracked up to be. We're going to find out. But those are the teams that really scare me. I think we're as good or better than any other team out there, even though our defense isn't great. It's good. It's not great. Even though our running game is but our offense is dynamite. And we got the guy in Ty who is just amazing. I mean, he's really defined this. I think we've got a great team led by a great NFL caliber quarterback, and it's been great to watch. And I've loved watching the rebound from FSU. 7-1 at the 2/3 mark at the bye week. 5-0 in the SEC, baby. I love it. I love it. So those are kind of my initial thoughts about
So, John,
this.
I'll say we're 7-1, and we have a tough schedule, right?
Absolutely.
We have 9 teams in our conference who are ranked in the top 25. Indiana, you're right. I mean, I know they beat Oregon, right? But I mean, what world are we living in when we say we're scared of Indiana, John? This is not, no.
I got a second T-Pain there. Indiana, I think there's teams like that, there's got to be at least a rebuttable presumption against them. And they haven't rebutted it yet. Maybe they beat Oregon, but it's kind of like if you look at the big time bowl games in the last 15 years, you'll have a Baylor sneak in, you'll have a TCU sneak in, and they never hold up. So does Indiana have some individual amazing players, including their quarterback? Obviously, yes. Am I afraid of them? I am not. Now, Ohio
Boom.
State and A&M, John, you got some points there. They're looking pretty stout.
Indiana was
Yeah.
that team last year. They got into the playoff and they just got killed by Notre Dame. I think that they're better than they were last year, but they're still, yeah. I mean, Fernando Mendoza, he's good, but I'm
He's
not sure that
really
our
good. He
defense
is
could,
really good. Will, I
I'm
will
not.
say he is NFL caliber. He's going to be a first round draft pick. He's really good. So I will say that to Fernando.
I
I'm going
think
to
I'm
give
more afraid
hats
of
off to him.
Marcel Reed. I'm not sure that our defense can stop Marcel Reed.
We may find out here in about 5 weeks, right? That would
Yeah.
be SEC championship game. But, a couple things about Indiana. I'm not so sure Oregon's as good as everybody thought they were, because everybody's like, oh, they went to Penn State and beat Penn State. And look at Penn State now. They're in the trash heap with LSU. All of a sudden, wheels have come off and they're in the ditch and they're having to call a tow truck. And then they went to Iowa and they should have lost that game to Iowa. So I think
They did
Indiana,
not
to
beat
your
Wisconsin
point,
by much.
right? They didn't kill them, and so to your point, Will, I think Indiana is better than last year's team, but are they great? I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out because I think Indiana Ohio State's going to happen. That's going to be the Big Ten championship game, and that's going to show me a lot about both of them. And then, I mean, how good is Texas? Is Texas really that good? I mean, is that Ohio State win 14-7 over Texas as good as I thought it was in week 1? I'm not so sure.
Here's a question. Texas is getting to their hard part of the schedule. They have to play Vanderbilt, Georgia, and Texas A&M. If they go 2 of 3 in those games and go 9-3, is there an argument that could be made that they should be in the playoff?
No.
Why is that?
I just think a 3-loss SEC team's out, even though you may have some quality wins. They're going to look at their losses.
I'm sure you weren't saying that last year.
I actually did. I wanted Bama to
year.
get in. I wanted Bama.
I think that a 9-3 Texas team should get over Notre Dame. If they beat Georgia and Texas A&M. Now what if they won all those games? What if they go 10-2?
Oh, they're in 10-2. Yeah, they're in 10-2. But I think 9-3 is going to be because I think there may be 4 or 5 other SEC teams that are 10-2 or 11-1 or 12-0.
I think you have to look beyond the record sometimes.
What about a 10-3 Bama team? Say Bama loses the last game to Auburn, still gets into Atlanta, and loses to number 2.
They're in. Bama's in. If they lose in the conference championship, but they're 10-2 going in, they can't lose their way out. I mean, I guess if we got beat 60-0, maybe, but
yeah.
I think if we go 10-2 and go to the SEC championship, guys, I think we're in. I think done deal.
I mean, look at
Yeah.
our schedule. If we go 10-2, I
But
think
would we make the SEC championship game with 2 losses if we lost another
Well,
one?
remember, we'd be 7-1, so there's a high likelihood a 7-1 Alabama team is going to make it.
Yeah.
High
But
likelihood.
I'm saying if we go 10-2 and lose to Auburn,
No, I meant 10-2 with a lost to Auburn total. So we lost to Florida State and Auburn. I bet we go to Atlanta. One
Well,
loss.
because I think that would make our records. Because remember, we're undefeated right now. That would mean we beat LSU, we beat Oklahoma, we beat Northern
Georgia.
Illinois.
yeah, but wouldn't there be other teams with only 1 loss? Wouldn't the tiebreaker be that we had another loss?
No, I think the tiebreaker is only in the conference, isn't it?
Yeah, it's conference first. They'll look at conference record first.
But I'm just wondering, like, how would they measure up against like Ole Miss because we don't play Ole Miss?
Don't
I'm
know.
not sure how they did that.
If Ole Miss goes 11-1, they may go over a 10-2 Bama. But I mean, then we'll be 10-2 and in, and we don't even have to go get beat up in the SEC championship. So I wouldn't.
That's what
bother
I'm
me.
saying. Ole Miss is probably not going to lose again.
Right. An 11-1 Ole Miss team may trump us if we haven't played head to head because they've got the better record overall. I'm not sure. I don't know what the tiebreakers. Does anybody know what the tiebreaker is in that scenario?
I'm not sure, but
It's like a
best
list
teams,
of
there ought to
stuff.
be quite a few SEC teams, if that really is the measure, even with 3 losses. I mean, if you just look around who's in the top 25, I mean, SEC's just stacked.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. There's a couple of weird scenarios, and Will and I talked about this the other night on a podcast. You've got teams, you've got situations like, what if Texas Tech goes 11-1 and BYU goes 12-0, and then they play each other and they're both 12-1? Are they going to get 2 Big 12 teams in there? Or let's say Miami goes 11-1, Georgia Tech goes 12-0, beats Georgia, and then Georgia Tech loses to Miami. Are they going to take 2 ACC teams that are both 12-1? So you could have some weird scenarios there, and we'll see if they really take the strength of schedule into account as much as they do record at that point. But you could have some interesting conundrums at that point. But we could if and but this to death. So, guys, couple of things as we look at this. We got LSU coming up, then we got Oklahoma, we got Northern Illinois. So we got 3 home games. Then we get to go at Auburn. I mean, I think the likelihood is we go 4-0 through those games. And even though I know how much Auburn's a trap game, LSU's falling apart. And I think, and to Will's point, we beat LSU pretty badly down there, and they were a much more composed together team there. DeBoer's undefeated at home. I'm not worried about LSU coming up here and beating us. It might be a much closer game than I anticipated, but Nussmeier's hurt. He's not mobile. He's not the kind of quarterback that gives us trouble. I just think we match up really well against LSU. Now, if Mateer's healthy and they come here, you got a Brent Venables defense that gives me concern. You got a mobile dual threat quarterback in Mateer. That may be a tougher game. But again, we're here. We're at home. I think we were embarrassed by Brent Venables last year. We're going to want to get revenge on that because that kind of ruined our season. Northern Illinois is a cakewalk, and heck, Auburn may be getting ready to fire Hugh Freeze by the time we go down there. They may be in complete disarray. So these games that I thought would be really tough, to me, Oklahoma is the one that scares me the most, but we've got them here. Thoughts about these remaining 4 games, just in those contexts?
The one I'm most scared of is Auburn. I think Jordan Hare might be Kalen DeBoer's hell or his purgatory or whatever, because he can't. Auburn's, they're not great, and on the road, unranked team every year. He might have a worse record there than Nick Saban did. So, and Auburn, if you look at their schedule, lost to A&M by 6. Probably should have beat Georgia. Went to overtime with Missouri and lost. Close with Oklahoma. I mean, they're losing, but they're losing close. They're not getting blown out. I would not be surprised if we somehow lost to Auburn. So the rest of them, I think, are fine.
I'm with Will K on that. I don't think we're going to lose to Auburn, but I think that, to me, looking at the remainder of our schedule, is the scariest game. Oklahoma's a good team, but like you're saying, John, we seem to own Saban Field at Bryant-Denny, and I expect that to continue. And Auburn's, we joke about throwing records and stats out the window. There's just so many examples of that, though. It's just a tough game. We played a tough game we talked about how South Carolina is a very tough place to play, and talked about the 2010 game. Well, you start talking about times we played in Auburn where we were 1 or 2, and they were, felt like they were on their heels. They're just dangerous when they play us.
Rick, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think I like us at home over in LSU, interim head coach, and I like us at home over Oklahoma. Yeah, with Will K and Gary. I'm thinking at Auburn is the possible hiccup there. And not to go back too far, but guys, I looked up on internet on the SEC championship tiebreak, and here it is. You want to hear it?
Yes, come on, baby, bring it.
So head-to-head competition among the tied teams. So obviously, if Alabama and Georgia are tied, then Alabama goes. So head-to-head competition among the tied teams. Number one. Number two, the record versus all common conference opponents among the tied teams. Number three, record against highest placed common conference opponent, in the conference standings, and proceeding through the conference standings among the tied teams. It's very complicated, of course. The next one is D is cumulative conference winning percentage of all the tied teams, and then capped relative total scoring margin versus all conference opponents among the tied teams. And then nothing else after that. You get to F, to random draw of the tied teams. I would love to not go, but so anyway, but that's how it works. And then yeah, I think Auburn is the one to watch out for. I'm hopeful that maybe they'll lose to Vanderbilt, maybe lose a couple more and be kind of disenchanted with Hugh Freeze and not really want to play. But I'm afraid they're going to give it their best shot.
I think they will lose to Vanderbilt.
I do too.
That's good to know that head-to-head, but we thought you were pensive, Rick, looking down, and you were doing real-time research the whole time.
I was.
There you go.
I was researching, baby.
Hey, guys, this win over South Carolina, I think really helps us prepare to go to Auburn, to be quite honest. I think it was such a battle. We got in a hole. We didn't give up. We had some bad things happen, some of it our own fault, some of it just, the fact that Sellers is really good. And we fought back. And gosh, I went back and was looking at the film, and I don't know if you all have looked at some of the cut-ups I did of some of these plays. Ty's ability to read the defense and move the defense and go through his progressions and to pump fake and then throw it and get guys out. It was masterful in the fourth quarter. He was amazing in his ability to do that. His ability to scramble, and I compare him to Roger Staubach. His ability to scramble and keep plays alive and either run with his legs and pick up yards or scramble and then get the throw off to a receiver. It was amazing. So I love that we had to go in there and battle through that game. You know how they do that winning percentage with it, ESPN does, the percentage that a team is going to win? South Carolina had to be at like a 90-something% chance to win. I didn't see what that meter was in the game. But when we got the ball with 10 minutes to go, it had to be 90-something. And then when we scored and tied it up, they still had to have like a 50 or 60% chance of winning because you're thinking they're going to kick a field goal and win. I love how we flipped that. And that gives me confidence that we can go into Auburn and deal with the voodoo and the hexes and, whatever else they do down there. And get through that and beat them. So I really think we can go 4-0 in this stretch. And I love the fact that we got a bye week to get healthy. We got 3 weeks here. And I think Ty is an unbelievable leader on this team. But I think this is a true team. We got a lot of guys stepping up with each other's backs, fighting through it. I just love the makeup of this team. So I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I think I almost had a flashback to Stephen Garcia and Alshon Jeffrey. Let's not have another flashback to the kick six. So
I think we're better than that. All right, let's dig into this team and just kind of celebrate and talk about it. All right, Number one, let's talk about Ty. This is Ty's team. I mean, he's the star of the team, and I love the fact that he doesn't have that star mentality. I think he's a very humble, competitive guy, and I love that. But I mean, he's the star. He is the guy that stands out on this team, and there are other great players on this team, but I don't think anybody else has put up those stats, the number to stand out like he does. Any thoughts on Ty in this seat? It's unexpected. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I thought he was going to have a really good season, and I was optimistic, but he's exceeded what I thought he would do this year. Thoughts, guys?
It's a marriage, and we've talked about this before. It's Ty and Ryan, that combination. Ty, one interception. We talked about preseason. We have to have better decision making from the quarterback position for this team to do what this team's possible, and we got it. 20 TDs, one interception. I mean, you were talking about the South Carolina game. Look at that late drive at Missouri in the fourth quarter. I mean, he just plays, smart football. He's in command. The guys respect him and love him, and couldn't ask for anybody better at that position right now.
Tell you what, he's eating pretty well too. I saw him at Southern Ale House the other night. I saw you, Ty, taking Parker Brailsford out. That was pretty awesome. But yeah, they're eating good food. They're excited. They look like they're in good spirits. But I think Ty, yes, he's probably better than I thought. But I do remember preseason when he said, and you guys kind of thought he was kind of arrogant when he said this, but he said, this system is made for me. He said, I mean, I just find the open guy, and there's always somebody open. And I thought, whoa, he sounded very confident. And I think he's doing what he expected to do based on this system. So yeah, he's the main attraction here for sure.
Will K.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of going into the season like, oh, if he can just be like, a game manager, not turn the ball over, which he's not doing. And he's just been incredible. I mean, he hasn't put up, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson video game numbers, but he's just very consistent, doesn't turn the ball over, makes good decisions.
And I think he's doing this with an offensive line that's not stellar. He's doing it with a kind of a average to good offensive line. So it's really, really impressive.
Yeah, I would say average is a good assessment of this O-line. I don't think they're above average for what we expect at Alabama. And I noted he's taken 14 sacks. So for him to put up the numbers he has and not turn, I know he's had a couple of fumbles where he got sacked and the ball got knocked out, but for him to take 14 sacks and still be winning like this, and those sacks, that doesn't even reflect how many times he scrambled and got out of potential sack and extended plays, and his ability. Rick, you said this system is easy because guys get open. Well, the quarterback's got to see them open. Mm-hmm. They got to throw them open and see them open. Guys, that pass to Cuevas, he threw the ball when Cuevas was in the right side of the end zone, threw it where the referee was, where there's this big hole in the middle, and then you see all of a sudden magically Cuevas appears. He threw him open. He knew where he was going to be. He went left, then he went left middle, then he looked to the middle. He knew Cuevas was going to be there, fired it. There's a big hole in the zone, touchdown. I mean, it was amazing. And it's just play after play like that. And there's a lot of NFL quarterbacks that if you listen to these shows, there's a guy named Greg Cosell, and he talks about how many times quarterbacks in the NFL will have their first read or second read open and they don't throw the ball. And so he's doing things that a lot of guys playing in the NFL aren't good at. He to me, he shows himself that he's going to play on Sunday. He's doing amazing things. And I love how his drive, he's not like Milroe throwing 50-yard bombs. He is surgically picking teams apart. And I think that's part of the reasons his numbers aren't as, he's not throwing for 450 yards because he's chewing clock on these drives and just eating it up. And how many times is it 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10? We get it to 4th and 2, we go for it and he converts it and just keeps the chain moving. And I think when we get a lead, we're not pedal to the metal trying to just score. We're trying to chew clock and run the clock out and put some points on the board, but we're not just trying to see how fast we can score and get to 60. And so I think amazing. And as long as Grubb doesn't, as Rick likes to say, go ADHD and starts trying to call crazy plays, just let him do this. Let him send him out. Make sure you got a short guy, intermediate. Just let him pick people apart. And in some ways, I want to play Ohio State. I want to see if he can pick apart that Ohio State defense. I want to see if he can do this, because I think Ohio State's got the best defense. Can he do that? It's going to be fun against Oklahoma, because Oklahoma has a great defense. Can he pick them apart? Because they ate Milroe's lunch last year. I mean, Milroe was flummoxed, and there were open plays to be made that Milroe didn't make, that I think that Ty's going to see those and make those plays.
I'll add two things real quick. First of all, he really epitomizes one of Saban's favorite phrases, and that is we have to take what the defense gives us. Now, we're earning some of those open spots with some really elite playmakers and a great scheme by Ryan Grubb, but Ty doesn't try to do too much. But on the other hand, I'm glad you mentioned scramble, because yes, we have 14 sacks. Our offensive line is playing at a level that could easily be more than that. If we had a strict pocket passer, we probably would have given up 30 sacks this year. Ty is elite at that elusiveness scramble. I won't say he's an elite runner, but in the backfield, he knows positioning. He knows where people are coming from, and he's got you've watched the tape, John. He's got these little juke moves and he's just really good at that. So our offensive line is worse than a 14 sack stat suggests.
I agree. And if he was Nussmeier behind this line, he'd be knocked out for the season. I mean, let's face it, his ability to scramble, move in the pocket, and right, he's not Jalen Milroe, he's not Lamar Jackson, but he can move. He can get 5 or 6 yards on a scramble, and he can outrun most of those defensive linemen, except for those elite, the Micah Parsons kind of guy is going to run him down. He can't run away from those guys, but I think he's got to be 4.6 or better in terms of his 40 time. He was the number one dual threat quarterback when he came out. And hey, here's another hats off to Ty. Ty did not bail out on this program. He stuck it out, and it had to be miserable to sit behind Milroe that year, Saban's last year, when Tommy Rees came in. And I really, until somebody, and Ty, I want to get you to interview and answer this question. Did Tommy Rees play favorites with Ty Buckner and not even give you a chance to earn that job? That's what I think.
Yeah,
I think he brought Buckner in, and he didn't even give Ty a chance to win that job. So he wasn't given a fair shot then. And then when DeBoer came in, he just stuck with the starting returning quarterback, who had a really good year under Saban, but Saban limited the play calls that he did for Milroe to limit the negative plays. And because Milroe's not capable of running this offense like Simpson is. And you saw what happened when they tried to open up the playbook with Milroe last year. He regressed from his year under Saban. He was worse last year. And again, Simpson just bided his time. Was he ready to go? We don't know, but look what we've got now. It's amazing. So, I mean, hats off for staying here. And I mean, it's amazing. I love it. I love watching this, and I've enjoyed, because I didn't know what kind of ride we were in for, guys, when we started this in August with that FSU loss. And I mean, what a great ride it's been so far. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm ready to see us go into the playoffs and see if we can bring the whole thing home. But I'm optimistic that we can do it.
Hey, a couple of things, John. One is Ryan Grubb on the ADD thing. I feel like every game he can put a drive together when he wants to. Like even this game, it was like okay, we're behind. We have to do it now. So he puts a great drive together, and it's like we just have a hard time separating from another team. I'm not sure what that's about. But one other thing, South Carolina game. I'm going to hit these points. 5th game in a row, right? I think the players and the coaches were a little bit fatigued. I really do. I feel like even the coaching staff was like tired, because that game plan just didn't look great. And then hats off to Ty. We didn't have Brooks wasn't there. I think Isaiah Horton got dinged up.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. So I just felt like we didn't have all of our weapons, and we played probably a C- to C game and won on the road. That's impressive. So I just think after this bye week, we'll come back ready mentally, physically, and I bet we're going to put on a show against LSU.
Yep.
Well, and Grubb, it looked like he didn't call a good game, and he didn't until the fourth quarter. Then that 2-point conversion, watch that play 10 times. His play calling when it matters, and the direct snap to Jeremy to ice the game. And of course, they let him kind of run there at the very end. But I mean, he sees things and he learns things during the game. And late in the game, his play calling, it's always good, but it's exceptional when needed. He did the same thing at Missouri.
That fourth quarter, guys, with 10 minutes left to go, we played an A-plus game. That is a glimpse of why we can win the national championship. If we can put together a game where we play 3 quarters like that, we can bring home the trophy. And it was amazing. And Gary, to your point, that 2-point conversion, you had Ty in shotgun, then he moves over, and Rick, I missed this, but you're right, Daniel Hill moves over. Then it looks like they're going Wildcat. Then he hands it to Ty. Ty's rolling right. You got Ryan Williams coming, so they have to worry about the reverse to Ryan Williams. And you got guys running everywhere. And in the meantime, Cuevas is peeling off. And then you've got all their players in conflict because either Ty might run it in, and then you got Cuevas ahead of him, and he just feeds him. And Cuevas has been money, guys. I love that guy as a tight end. He catches the ball, and after he catches it, he dishes out punishment.
Catches with his hands too.
Yeah.
Right now, Williams wants that ball to hit his jersey.
And they had so many guys in conflict because they're worried about the Wildcat. They're worried about the reverse. They're worried about Ty running it in. And then Cuevas just sneaks up and he's got 2 steps on the guy who's trying to guard him, and it's over. And it was just such a brilliant play.
So, y'all, the point of snapping it directly to Hill, that was just to kind of hold the linebackers, you think? Is that the point?
And make him afraid he's going to run it because
Right.
he's been effective. Yeah. I mean, it just frees them up, and they're like, okay, they're trying another trick play.
Yeah.
But it just anything they haven't seen just causes confusion and gets them scrambled and worried about it. And then you got the reverses and all that kind of stuff going. It's amazing when they.
I think we're going to see Proctor throw the ball, don't y'all? We're going to.
Hey, Grubb's like the Willy Wonka of eye candy. You shift the formations. I mean, that play epitomizes that. But you look at so many plays, it's just we have them on their heels.
Yeah.
So Ty has been amazing. Let's talk about the running backs. I feel like, Jan Miller was hurt. We don't know what was going on with Daniel Hill, and the other guys didn't really. We thought Kevin Riley was doing something, but they never really produced. And now it seems like it's the Jan Miller, Daniel Hill show as running backs. And nobody's outstanding, but I think they're decent. And I like the fact that both of them are dual purpose running backs. They're good in the passing game. They're good in the short passing game. They seem to be able to block okay. They can run the ball decently enough. So even though our running game hasn't been great, I think that what they bring to the table as another weapon, and they're able to catch the ball and do things, it helps confuse the defense. So it's not a traditional Alabama running back room, but those are my thoughts on the running back situation. And it's been compliment. And the other thing, we've kept the run pass mix close to 50-50. So they at least have to respect the fact that we may run the ball. So a couple of thoughts there. All right, fire away on the running backs and our rushing attack.
I would say we need Cam healthy, and I'm not sure he's going to be healthy a lot. I mean, he seems to get, he's had the injury and he just seems to be dinged up, and not when he's 100%. I think that he can make the case for getting rid of the committee and kind of being the guy. But we saw him be the guy one game, and it's kind of like he got our hopes up. And I don't know. I'm overall, I'd say I'm a little disappointed with the running game. But Ty's kind of compensated for that with what we call quasi runs with some of these little flares and shallow crosses and things like that.
He also seemed a little bit slow in the South Carolina game to me. It seems like Jam takes a little bit of time to get going. And I didn't know where Riley was. I think Riley has a burst, and so does AKD, or he has a burst, but they must lack other issues. But yeah, I heard Damian Harrison interviewed about our running backs, and he just felt like none of our guys see the holes really well. That was his impression of it. He said their vision's not quite as good as it could be, and maybe that'll come.
Hey,
Maybe
and
not.
Rick, real quick to that point, I've seen a few plays where there was a hole and Jam missed it, where there was a crease, and it's like he doesn't have good enough peripheral vision to see that hole open up and hit the crease. So I've seen that on 3 or 4 plays. I could probably find an example, show it another time, but I agree with you on that. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say. I just think I don't know if that's something that they can develop in the next 7, 8 games, or if that's something you just kind of have or don't. I'm not sure, but I feel like these running backs aren't quite the guys we've had in the past. But we got to we can't abandon the run though, as y'all said already. We have to keep attempting to run just to kind of keep that defense a little bit honest. But even if it only gives us 80 yards a game, we got to keep trying.
Will K.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of AK Deer. I don't know what it is about him. I know he's only a freshman, but I mean, something has to change. Jam's just not doing it. Maybe Daniel Hill. Richard Young has not seen the field at all, probably for good reason. But I mean, they're lining Germany back there to take some of the runs. I mean, that tells you something. So I think once you get to the playoffs, you're going to need to run the ball a little bit better. So I need to figure it out quickly.
And that's going to be a challenge, guys. And here's a question to you. I'm glad you brought that up, Will. Can we win a natty if our running game stays on this level that it does? Do you think our passing game is so elite and our ability to use the short pass in lieu of the run, can we do it? Or to Will's point, our running game has to get better or we're not going to win a natty. Thoughts?
I would build on Will K's point by also pointing some of the focus to the offensive line. I mean, yes, John, there have been creases that Jam hasn't hit, but we just don't have the road graders that we've had in prior seasons. They're not, I don't want to be harsh, but they're not doing their job a lot of plays to help the running backs. So to answer your question, I think our offensive line has to play better for us to beat a team like Ohio State.
Yeah, I think either Ryan Grubb has to call every drive exceptionally well, or we have to get better at running the ball. Either one, something's got to happen. Another thing is, I heard Martin Houston say this on the radio the other day, and he was kind of speculating. I don't know if this is really what's going on, but you know how we keep playing multiple offensive linemen in every game almost?
Yeah.
He's like, how much of this is just trying to figure out our best 5, and how much of this is trying to keep them fresh to the very end of the game? And that's when you notice we run the ball pretty well in the fourth quarter. So I don't know. I just thought that's interesting, but I don't think he's doing it to keep us fresh. I think he's just doing it because they don't know who the best 5 are. I just thought that's interesting, but I don't think he's doing it to keep us fresh. I think he's just doing it because.
I mean, that's a position where you got to be able to play the whole game. It's not like defensive line. I mean, you look at the NFL, they'll sub a little bit, but I mean, offensive linemen, you're supposed to have the size, the stamina, and you're not running after anybody. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, I really respect Morton, and I think that's interesting, but I don't think, like you said last episode, Rick, I don't know that we know who our best 5 are yet. I think it's just experimentation would be my speculation, and we're not getting great answers because they're trying different combinations, and we're still not running the ball great. So I guess you keep experimenting.
Yeah.
I think we know who our best 2 linemen are.
Yeah.
I think the other 3 is a big question mark, and that's concerning.
Rick saw one of them at dinner.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, Will, I muted you. Unmute yourself. I want to get your comments, but I think there was some feedback going on. So unmute yourself.
See. I think he may be frozen.
All right. Well, we'll go on. Sorry, Will. We see you out there.
On here.
Okay.
He's back.
He's back. What about the running game?
You hear me?
Yeah.
Here, hold. My computer's messing up or something. Sorry.
Okay. All right. We'll have you drop off then, and we'll mute you. All right, guys. We got Will K for at least part of this episode. So bye, Will. We'll talk to you soon.
He will.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigo.
So yeah, I think the line, that's a big question mark. And I think we've got 2 guys that stand out, and the other 3 are not playing at the level we would hope. and that's concerning in both the run game and the passing game.
Yep.
Let's talk about the receivers.
Oh yeah, the bright spot.
Yes. So to me, there's a clear number one standout in that room. It's a super talented room. We got a lot of talent, a lot of production out of that room. But I think Jeremy, he is the lead guy. He's the guy game in and game out. Gary, I think you've talked about his ability to block. We all know he's used in the run game. He's got sure hands. He runs great routes. He's an NFL receiver. It's amazing how well he's played. And I love Josh Cuevas, tight end. I think to me, those are the two guys that have been the best, most consistent. We know Ryan's got a lot of talent. Love Lottie Brooks. Certainly Zay Horton can make plays. Rico Scott, it's a talented room. It's fun to see what those guys can do. All right, thoughts on the receivers?
I saw a conversation between Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco, and they were talking about our receivers. And it's so funny. Shannon Sharp goes, the best receiver on the team is Jeremy. And Chad goes, no, what? And he says, what do you, he said, he said, you mean talent? And Chad said, yeah, man, it's Ryan Williams. He goes, Shannon. And Shannon said, Chad, if you had not seen last year at all, and all you had seen was this year, you would still say that? And he goes, yeah, no, I wouldn't. He goes, I know. So we know he can do that. So, and also Chad Ochocinco said Ryan's problem is confidence. And he said, I've been there where if you drop a pass, all of a sudden you want that ball to hit. He said, I want that ball to hit 8.5 in my chest then I catch it. And he goes, Ryan's got to learn how to get that ball again out here in front. And I think it'll come with time. But right now they both thought, like we all think, Bernard's the player on the team right now.
Well, let me say something to that. A lot of Ryan circus grabs are not in the chest. It's
That's
almost
true.
like he's comfortable, when he's having to,
Way out.
he doesn't have time to think or have that thing bounce off his chest plate. I will say this about Jeremy, though. Some people, when Jeremy and Brailsford too came down from Washington, they're like, we'll see how they do in this. He said, yeah, they're doing pretty good in this, let's be honest. But yeah, Jeremy's our go-to guy. Ryan, I couldn't agree more. He's like a streaky basketball shooter, it's just like if he misses a couple of threes, he just doesn't, he looks like, even his body language is like his confidence is kind of deflated. And that's one, I know we're not talking about basketball, but that's one reason I love Mark Sears. He'd miss a bunch of shots. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to just keep taking the shots. I wish Ryan could be a little more like Mark Sears and just shake off the bad plays. He'd have less of them if he learned to shake them off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's young, and I think Ryan's going to keep getting better. And he wants to play in the NFL, so he's got to get better. So I'm confident, and he's still making plays, but he's not Mr. Reliable. To me, if it's a big play to be made, Jerm is number one, Cuevas is number two for me, and I'd say it, Brooks is number three.
Yeah.
And then I love what Daniel Hill's done on a couple of these huge plays. I love those little plays where they're getting the ball out to him, whether it's in the Missouri game or the play made against South Carolina. I love that. I love and Jam's effective. He had some plays where they hit him in the flat and he got us first downs and kept the ball moving. So I love the weapons we have and Ty's ability. And you can't concentrate on one guy. That's the other thing, because Ty's going to find him. Somebody's open. He's going to find him.
I'm going to push back on your list a little bit in this sense. And I'm not trying to, debate the Shannon Sharp, Chad Ochocinco, but Ryan can do things nobody else on the team can do. When he gets the ball in his hand with a little space and he can create his own space, he can do things that almost nobody else in the United States can do. And we forget about that because of his body language, because of the drops. And really, they haven't thrown to him as much, I think, because the coaches see it in practice and they see he's got a confidence problem. But when he's at his best, he's still Ryan Williams. He can do things in terms of stopping on a dime. We've seen it this year in a couple of plays, more than a couple, where he's got the ability to change directions. He looks like David Palmer on steroids. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone make two defenders run into each other like he has multiple games. That is crazy. He stops on a dime and defenders go boom. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's that thing. If he can get the ball in space, he can do so much. And the problem is he hasn't been effective in getting the ball in space to make those dynamic plays that we know he can make. And that's the thing. He's got to get that confidence back that when they dial something up for him to get the ball in space, because once he's got it, good luck. Good luck. But that's been the problem, is he hasn't been consistently able to get the ball in space to then do what we know he can do.
And I think also, y'all, from an offensive coordinator's viewpoint or vantage point, is that when he's on the field, it kind of limits you in some respects because he's not a great blocker. And so all of a sudden you can't do certain runs toward his side of the field. So I think it might limit Ryan a little bit because of he's great at some plays, but then I think it limits you in some of the run game stuff because he's not going to block as well as Brooks or Horton. So he's got to learn how to block too better.
Yeah, T-Pain with that deep analysis, man. I think you're spot on there, man.
I went crazy down there, baby.
But the thing when he is on the field is you have to respect him, and you've got to know where that guy is all the time. And sometimes you got to put two guys on him. So even that impact might make it easier to get other guys open easily.
Well, and I've got a question, and I don't play Monday morning quarterback, especially when we have probably one of the top 2 or 3 offensive coordinators. But some of these like sweeps and stuff that Jeremy's getting, why not put Ryan in? And he's not going to drop a handoff. I mean, let him do his thing.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good of a runner in the backfield as he is down the field. That's my opinion, but.
Yeah, Ryan, I mean, he's had some jet sweeps and some other things. He's still got. That's interesting that Ryan still has 3 TDs on the season receiving. And doesn't he at least have 1 running touchdown? I thought we got him at least on one kind of reverse or something. But I know he's still making an impact, even though we thought after that magnificent freshman year that he would just take it to a whole new level this year. And that hasn't happened, but the wide receiver room's so good, it's been great. All right, we've talked about the O-line, which was the next thing I was going to bring up. Any other thoughts about that O-line? I think Brailsford's great. I think Proctor's good, but he hasn't been as dominant as I'd hoped he would. And the other 3 have just been serviceable.
I just feel like, again, this is me not being a coach, but I feel like with the left tackle being pretty good and the center being really good, that we should be able to get one person at left guard to be able to run behind the left side of the line with some consistency, but we're not able to, and it's really puzzling to me. I just feel like you can get one more guy in between there, even with a tight end, and get 3 or 4 yards if you have to run off left side, but we're not able to do it.
I don't know what else to say there. G Money, any other thoughts on the line?
I've had the same question T-Pain just articulated. It's just like, because if you look at our recruiting for offensive line, we've done pretty good. I mean, and if you take the star system and say, okay, 4-star ought to be able to come in here and, make some noise and hold their own. They're doing it at other programs. It's sort of an enigma a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's going to be interesting when we run up against, Oklahoma is going to be a big test for us, guys. I think that's going to be really good test to see what our offense does against them. We'll know a lot after these next 2 games because LSU's still going to have a respectable defense, but Oklahoma will be at a whole different level. And Brent Venables will come in here. They'll run some exotic blitzes. And I don't know if you guys heard this, but leave it to Lane Kiffin saying that Brent Venables knew our play calls, like he'd been stealing signals and stuff. And a lot of people speculate that Lane changed a lot of the calls and the terminology because he thought they knew what their calls were and what their signs were. But that they put a lot of points up against Oklahoma this time, but he felt like the year before, and a lot of people have speculated that they may have known Alabama's play calls when we went up there last year, and they knew exactly what we were going to run. And I'm not quite so sure it was that stark because I remember going through the film this summer and rewatching the game, and I saw open people and plays to be had. I'm like, why didn't you audible into this? Or why didn't Milroe throw the ball here? And I thought Milroe missed stuff that I'm confident Ty would have picked up. But it will be interesting to see if, they keep stuffing us because they've got our signals and our calls and they know what we're doing. So
Did you hear? I'm sorry, John. Did you hear
No,
the
go
other
ahead.
thing? Did you hear about Brent Venables saying after the Ole Miss game? He said, "I thought we had the better team." Did you hear that? It's so funny. Well, I mean, Gary heard it, but Lane Kiffin goes. Lane Kiffin was asked about it in his press conference this week. So, what do you think about Coach Venables saying he had the better team? He goes, "Really? What?" He said, "That's kind of a hot take." He goes, he said, "I thought if we played better, we could have beaten them worse." And he goes, I guess they had a better team last year when we beat them, and then when I was at Alabama, we beat them at Clemson."
He's the troller in chief, man. I will say this for Lane Kiffin. I hope he doesn't go to Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And I think with their advantages there, in terms of recruiting and money, I think if Lane goes to LSU, I think they'll win a national championship within 5 years if they'll give him 5 years.
Yeah.
What about him going to Florida, Gary?
I mean, that's a program that it's easy to forget things, but do y'all remember how painful we had for about a 10-year period before Saban got here? Florida's in the teeth of that now, and I feel for them. That's a proud program, bunch of rings, Spurrier, Tim Tebow, and they are just in the wilderness, and they need somebody, an A-lister like Lane to turn them around. I think taking the chance on some rising mid-major guy, forget that. Go for the top. Just leave DeBoer alone, please.
So,
Right.
but let me ask you, would you rather Lane, if he's going to leave Ole Miss, would you rather him go to Florida or LSU?
Florida.
I'd rather them go to Florida.
Okay.
Me too.
Versus and I could be wrong about this, but I think Florida, you've got so many great players in the state of Florida. And I think Lane Kiffin could clean up getting all those players to come right to him, that I think either place he's going to be tough to deal with.
He would be tough either place, but I mean, you got to think about Miami, FSU, and then if you look on the roster, Ohio State's got some outstanding players from Florida. Georgia certainly does. We certainly do. I mean, it's hard to dominate. Now they're so talent rich. There's so much to choose from, but I think we'd still get ours even if Lane was down there in Florida.
Yeah, Lane did okay at FAU, didn't he?
He did. He did.
He could probably recruit pretty well in Florida.
I just think I think either place, he won't have to go outside the state of Florida to fill that roster up. And I'm sorry, Mike Norvell versus Lane Kiffin, I'm choosing Lane Kiffin. Mario Cristobal versus Lane Kiffin, I'm choosing Lane Kiffin. So I think either place he's going to be really tough to deal with. And
well, it's money too, though. I mean, don't discount money now. I mean,
right.
I mean, it's Florida's got money, but so does Miami, so does FSU. Certainly, Georgia and Alabama do.
That's going to be fascinating.
Do you think it's more likely than not that he stays put though? Or do y'all think
he's leaving? What do you guys think?
I already has a kid that plays at Oxford, Mississippi, quarterback for the high school team. I don't know if that matters or not, but I'm not sure.
He does, and his daughter's in school at Ole Miss as well. And I've heard his family situation is very stable there, but I don't know. I think if you want to get to the top echelons of the college programs, unless he's going to wait and see if Alabama comes open, I mean, where else? I just think LSU and Florida are better. You can win a natty easier at those two places than you can Ole Miss. That's just my thought.
What if the NFL came calling? The NFL's better job now than college.
He's already done that one time when he was 31.
True. That's true. Was he at Oakland or yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alabama.
I think if he wants to go to the NFL, he can just sit and wait a couple of years.
Yeah.
And he can wait. Like if let's say the Buffalo Bills peter out in the playoffs and they fire Sean McDermott. I mean, it'd be hard not to go take Josh Allen. But yeah. I mean, do you want to go to the Tennessee Titans or would you rather go to Florida?
I was gonna say, who wants to live in Buffalo, man?
I know.
I get cold today. It was 54, and I'm like freezing.
Yeah, no, and I get that, but if you get Josh Allen for another 8 to 10 years and think you can win some Super Bowls, that's pretty enticing. I don't know.
For sure.
And this is a rough time though to be hiring a coach, isn't it? You have
It
Florida,
is.
LSU, Penn State. I mean, Auburn, if they fire Hugh Freeze, man, they'll be fourth in line, I think.
You got
Arkansas, which I didn't put on that
Arkansas.
level, but yeah.
Arkansas, Virginia Tech.
So
Yeah,
we ought to count our blessings. We made this point a couple of shows
that's right.
ago. We
That's
have
right.
a great coach.
DeBoer.
Yeah,
DeBoer,
I've been
DeBoer.
look at bro. That's right.
That's right.
Or
DeBoer.
come on, John, do it one time. Do it one time.
DeBoer.
Only you can
DeBoer.
I laugh
Only
every
you can
time.
pull that off.
DeBoer. He is the greatest coach in the world.
He's pretty good.
Yep, no, I'm loving DeBoer and I'm loving him paired with Grubb. I want to keep Grubb. I think you're right, Gary. I think Grubb is going to be in line to get a head coaching job soon. I just hope he doesn't want to go to, South Florida. I hope he waits for a big time job. Like if he can't get LSU, Penn State, or Florida, I think he ought to stay here like Kirby did and wait for that primo job.
Well, he may take as in love as Ole Miss is with offense. If Lane goes to Florida or LSU, he may go to Ole Miss.
You're right. I don't like that.
Me either.
I don't like that. All right, guys, let's talk about the defense. Thoughts on this defense so far?
Yeah, I got a thought. Let's go get Jeremy Pruitt next year. No, I mean, I think we've hit on this before, but yes, it's definitely a bend, don't break defense. I think it's because we have a smaller 11 guys collectively out there. We're not really built to stop the run. So I think teams have a lot of success 20 to 20. And then inside the 20, all of a sudden we have a lot of guys in a small space and it's hard to score on us. But we're pretty small. I think we usually play 5 to 6 defensive backs, and our linebackers aren't big either. They're fast. But I mean, yeah, I don't love the stress they cause every game, but man, it's hard to score on us.
Yeah, I think we've been flexing our depth, which I like. Yanze, that's not flexing depth anymore. He's just a stud, and he's going to be a stud the rest of the year. But I mean, you got guys like Red Morgan, Xavier Mincy, in the backfield. We have so many players that are stepping up. We can keep people fresh, not just on the D line, but against a pass-heavy team, those DBs get tired too, and we're able to cycle people in. And I love the trajectory of the defense. So I think we got a defense. We're talking about, what would happen if we make it to the national championship. I think our defense is good enough to beat an Ohio State if they play their A game, which that's a big if. Offensive line, I'm still concerned. Running game, I'm still really concerned.
Yeah, guys, I mean, looking at this little info sheet we have, I think we're playing about 22 guys on defense collectively. It's crazy. And like you said,
Yeah.
I mean, some of it's out of necessity. Some of it's just to build depth. And Rusaw's not even back yet. So when he's back, adds another guy, another starter. And so and then Keelan Kelly's coming on, and he got the last sack in the game, didn't he? Against South Carolina? I think Keelan Kelly did. And he's not even on this. So yeah, we're playing about 20 guys on defense, and they all contribute. When you look at the tackles, they're all making contributions. It's pretty impressive.
Well, and look at South Carolina, N'Keal Hill-Green in the last couple of games. He's stepping up now, and it's easy to kind of watch those guys and forget we also have LT Overton. Look what Tim Keenan did in the last play. I mean, it's just like it's easy to forget. Even if some of our studs don't have big statistic games, that they're not filling those columns up, they're still playing sound defense.
Yeah, it's more like a really good defense back committee. We don't have one really macho stud. We have a lot of good players.
How many of those 22 will play in the NFL? I think it's a big number. I really do.
I agree. So. I agree. And I think that a couple things. One, we're getting turnovers this year. We're getting some turnovers. And I mean, they're coming at key opportunistic times. And that's just keeping playing and being aggressive. And Yeah, the chunk plays. I don't like some of the chunk plays we give up. And to me, that's our biggest flaw. Some of it's schematic. Sometimes I think we get caught with our pants down and we get deep pants because we're not in the right scheme. Sometimes it's one guy will blow their assignment and just the whole thing will go kind of haywire. So I think to me, those are the two biggest things I've seen is sometimes the scheme's bad. It's too aggressive. We're misaligned. And then a couple of times that one guy will make a bad, just won't do his job and the other 10 are doing their jobs and it blows up on us. But I love the turner and we're getting sacks now. We're getting some sacks.
John, that reminded me, Saban always said, I'd rather all 11 guys play the wrong defensive scheme than one guy play the wrong defensive scheme. So you have to believe that, Womack's plan doesn't allow for big gashes. It's because someone's not doing their job. And so that's a good point. So maybe over the next 2 weeks, these guys will start seeing, hey, here's what we're doing wrong. Because I can't imagine Kane's going into the game thinking, yeah, it's okay. We give up 20-yard chunks. My defense does that. No, it shouldn't do that. Someone's missing their position, missing their spot. And I'd rather all 11 guys, have the wrong plan, but all do the same thing than one guy not do the right thing. And then all of a sudden you have a huge hole.
Well, and we've given up a lot of yards, even though we're on our spot, because we've played some phenomenal players against some phenomenal players and some phenomenal teams. Lenore Sellers is a great example. I mean, we had him wrapped up so many times. That guy's good. I mean, he's an elite athlete, and his ability to run and break tackles. So, I mean, you could look at some of the stats from South Carolina and go, man, we let him run all over us. He earned a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was listening to Mel Kiper today. Mel Kiper, he's a first-round draft pick. If Lenore's wants to come out this year, he's going in the first round. No ifs, ands, or buts. They're saying that. So. I mean, he's NFL. He's Sunday caliber. He showed that. But on that 10-yard run where he ran an RPO, Yanze Pierre did not set the edge. Yeah. He got sucked in. And why wasn't he lined up a little bit farther outside? Why did he not stay with Sellers and force him? If you're going to get beat and you're on the edge, you have to get beat to the inside, not to the corner. So was that scheme? Is Kane allowing him to do that? Is he being called out on it? Are they running that, making him set the edge 15 times in a row till he gets it right? Because Saban always said, I don't want you to do it till you get it right. I want you to do it till you never get it wrong. And so I'm wondering, how often is that? And then I've seen times where on defense, we are misaligned and they see it and they gash us. And I'm like, why are we in that defense? Why did we do that?
Aren't you seeing that less now? I mean, FSU
less, yes, less.
And I'm not passing the plate to start the Womack fan club.
Right.
So I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that if you took away some plays that Pavia made, some plays that Lenore Sellers made, and you can't take them away, but if you could, and you looked at how that affected our stats where they just made phenomenal plays, broke tackles, did little elite jukes and that kind of stuff, I think our defense is doing pretty good.
Oh, it's better. There's no doubt. I mean, whereas I saw it, 15 times in the FSU game where I thought we were misaligned. And it's like, what are we doing? It seems like we get caught with our pants down like 3 or 4 times a game now. But that might get you beat in the national championship game. And that's what I'm focused on. I don't want to see that happen once or twice. I like the trajectory of the defense. And I was looking at something. So if you look at the points we allowed, and these are in all the games, we gave up 31 to FSU, and that's the most we've given up this year. We shut out Louisiana Monroe. So you take the 31 and the 0 off the board and just ignore that. The rest of the games, we had 2 games where we gave up 14. We had, and then the other 4 games, we gave up 20, 21, 22, and 24. So basically, if you throw out the 0 and throw out the 31, we're giving up about 20 points a game, but we're scoring about 30 points a game. That's a good margin. And we're doing it against good teams. Missouri's good. They have a good offense. Georgia's good. Vanderbilt very good offense. South Carolina has Nick Harbor. They have a decent running back. They got Lenore Sellers. So, yeah, would I like to be only like Ohio State, only giving up 6 points a game? But Ohio State's played a cupcake schedule. I'm sorry. They have played very few good teams.
Yeah. I agree. I will say this on our predictions. It seems like both for our offensive production and our opponents' offensive production, we're aiming too high every time. A lot of guesses of 40, 42, and that kind of stuff. And then, like you're saying, John, these are like 30 to 20 kind of games, which that's almost a little, not quite old school. I mean, real old school, we were beating people, 14 to 3 and stuff like that. Or 10 to 3.
Yeah. Saban loved the good, 17-7 victory. He loved that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Gene Stallings, man, if you scored a touchdown, game's over.
That's right. That's right. Game over.
All right, guys. All right. Other thoughts about this season as we're at the turn and we're in the home stretch with 4 to go. I'm loving where we are. I'm enjoying this ride. It's been exhilarating. It's certainly been scary at times, but I love where we are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting. Every game is in question, it seems like, which is different. But yeah, I like it. I think we're on the right path.
All right,
let's keep bringing these recruits in because at the LSU game and Oklahoma game, we're going to have some elite recruits in and just keep the atmosphere rocking and get some big dubs.
Hey, and Bama Hour might be on the field with them, So
that's right.
That's
we're
right.
Practically there.
That's
almost.
Right. Ty, we're ready for you. Come on. We want to talk to you. We got some questions for you. We're ready.
And we got some NIL money, Ty. Anything under $600, we don't have to get approval for. So guess what I have, Ty? I have a gift card to Taco Casa for you, buddy.
He's got a spine care cup for you.
Oh, man. Yes.
Free pain relief.
That's
spine
right.
care tumbler.
We got a Bama Hour t-shirt right here for you. We're ready. We are ready. All right, let's talk about the SEC standings. So I think a lot has shaken out here. So Texas A&M, I think they're likely to make the playoffs. I think Bama's likely to make the playoffs. I like Ole Miss is where they are. Georgia's in pretty good position. They do have to play Georgia Tech. Texas, we're going to find out, guys. Texas is they got no margin at all. Tennessee has no margin at all, but Tennessee's schedule's easier than Texas. Vanderbilt's got margin, but the problem with Vanderbilt is they've got to play Texas and they've got to play Tennessee. So Vanderbilt can afford to lose 1. They can't afford to lose 2. I think Missouri's done, even though they've only lost 2. And I think Oklahoma's going to come here and get eliminated by us. Well, they got to go to Tennessee this weekend, too.
I know this is the Bama Hour, but if I can just make one sort of random comment.
Oh, please.
How awesome would it be for Vandy to make the playoffs? That would just be, it'd be awesome to have a huge, list of SEC teams in it. But if Vandy made the playoffs, hey, hats off to you, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find out a lot when they go to Texas this weekend. Mm-hmm. And with Arch not playing, it's going to be interesting to see, is Texas's offense more effective without Arch in there? Can they move the ball against Vanderbilt, or does Vanderbilt go to Austin? Because I think if Vanderbilt goes to Texas and wins, Vanderbilt's going to play Tennessee for that last game in the regular season, possibly with Vanderbilt at 10-1 and Tennessee at 9-2. How big would that be?
That's crazy.
And if Vanderbilt somehow beat Tennessee, could Vanderbilt be in the SEC championship game?
Probably not, because we'll have a head-to-head with them.
Right. Well, I mean, if A&M somehow loses, anyway, it could be crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. As of right now, there's 7 teams that have a chance to go to Atlanta, so it's crazy.
Yeah, Kiffin that's another way he was trolling. He was talking about the big buyout that LSU's paying, but he said, well, it was painful for A&M to pay the buyout, but they're feeling pretty good right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is so funny. I love it. So, I mean, Bama's in good shape. We just got to take care of business in these next 3 games, and then we can just coast through the Auburn game, even though we don't want to do that. And it won't matter. I mean, because actually, should we lose to Auburn and not have to go to Atlanta, we'd be well rested for that first playoff game.
Yeah.
All right,
I submit-
Heisman odds.
Hey, I submitted my application for 4 tickets to the first round of playoff if we have it here today.
1, 2, 3.
That's
Who's the fourth?
right.
I love it. I love it. So, I mean, to me, it's I don't know. I mean, I guess Diego's in there too. I was going to say it's a 5-horse race for the Heisman, with Mendoza probably has the best odds, but ties at number 2, Julian Sands at 3, Marcel Reed, and Pavia. I mean, that's an interesting list.
And it's unfair because Mendoza, nothing against him. He's a great player, but his opponents, he's going to be racking up these stats that are just going to look gaudy. He's going to have some Heisman throws against inferior defensive backs. And, here we are going, still, I mean, LSU's not as scary as we thought they were. We're still playing tough teams at Auburn. So, I like the odds for him to win, but I think it's unfair because of the apples and oranges schedule that he faces against Ty Simpson. And also Julian saying, how weird is that, had he stayed, we probably wouldn't have Ty here. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who, when Julian Sayin came for recruiting weekend, Ty Simpson hosted him.
I didn't know that.
I love that.
Mm.
And Mendoza and Julian Sayin probably are going to play in the Big Ten championship. 2 12-0 teams vying for the number 1 spot in the playoffs, and possibly could be a decider for who wins the Heisman. Because, if Mendoza goes in there and let's say Ohio State wins 17-10 and they shut down Mendoza, but Sayin doesn't put a whole lot either, but Ty ends up going 12-1. We win the SEC championship. And undoubtedly, Alabama's strength of schedule is going to be much better than either one of those teams. It's going to be hard to not give it to Ty, even though his numbers might not be as gaudy as those guys.
Yeah.
So do you know would that be played in Indianapolis? I know it'd be a neutral site, right? The Big Ten championship game?
That would seem like I don't know whether they move it or not, but Indy seems like where they would play it. Yeah. And no, it'll definitely be a neutral site, but yeah, Indy seems like where they typically play, because you don't have to worry about the weather, and you tee it up just like going to Atlanta. That's what I'm betting. And you could have an undefeated Marcel Reed playing Ty Simpson. So you kind of have you have Heisman candidates in both championship games, with the only real championship games that are meaningful going at it.
But isn't that the way it should be? Best player on best team, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's exciting. It's going to be fun to see what happens. But I just think the Big Ten's got 2 really good teams. I think Oregon's okay. Iowa's okay. And the rest is just mid at best.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you want to talk some basketball?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do some hoops. All right, let's talk about the starting 5. Who's going to start?
Phylon.
Bam.
I'm in agreement with that.
Reitzel.
Is it going to be Reitzel or Millette? Do you think Reitzel's ready to go yet?
I thought you
recovered?
mean like Monday night, and you mean like
who's going to start starting 5? Yeah, coming up just the next week or 2. I know
Monday
it's going
night.
to change.
Yeah, okay. I'd say Phylon, Millette, Aiden Sherrill, Holloway.
I think Holloway's definitely going to start.
Yeah.
And then who's it going to be? Is it going to be TBB or Bristow?
TBB.
Okay.
TBB.
And I don't know if it really matters, man. They're so deep. The other night they played like 11 guys without Bethea being healthy.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. And that depth, and I think the key guys coming off the bench, as I see it, are going to be number one, whoever doesn't start, if let's say Millette starts and Reitzel doesn't and Bowen starts and Bristow doesn't, those guys are going to get a lot of playing time. I really like Bristow's game. I like his athleticism, his length, his aggressiveness. I think he shoots the ball decently well. I think losing Reitzel last year really hurt Alabama more than I thought it would. I think had they had them, they would have played Duke a lot closer. I mean, we're only down 8 with 4 minutes to go in that game, and then kind of they blew our doors off. Reitzel was just such a steady scorer, so automatic at the free throw line, hitting threes, pretty athletic. So I'm hopeful he can get back to that level at least by mid-season and be as effective as he was prior to that injury. But then you got Williamson and Amari Allen, and I like Davion Hannah, guys. I don't know how much you've watched him play, but he's athletic and he can play. So
well, let's talk just for a half a second about the holes that have been left. We talked about Mark Sears. Grant Nelson, there were some major games where he just was a stud. And then transfer portal, Mo Diabate, at the right time was amazing. Jaron Stevenson going to North Carolina. I mean, and then what's his name? Darion Reed. We've lost some major players to both graduation and the transfer portal. So some of these guys we're talking about, and I don't know that we know who they are yet. Somebody, whether it's, I think Amari's going to wind up by the end of the season being an absolute stud, but we don't know exactly who's going to step up, but we need them to step up. And we needed to, I would like to see them step up a little earlier this year, because it just seems like November and December, it just seems like every year we just can't have this kind of cohesive start. What last year we lost to Purdue, but then we beat Houston, and then we lost to an unranked Oregon team in November and early December. And we have a massive schedule. You guys have looked at it, I'm sure. But if you look at the top, 50,
we got St. John's. We got to go to New York and play St. John's. We got Purdue. We got,
Gonzaga,
there's a gauntlet. Yeah.
We got at Illinois, who's in the top 20.
Right.
Arizona. I mean, this is like, Nate, I admire you, man, but man.
And when you get in the SEC, there's not any easy games in the SEC. The SEC.
Well, I think our first SEC game is Kentucky.
Yeah. No, it is going to be a gauntlet. It is really going to be tough. And yeah, that's the question. Can we get that chemistry? Can we find the right 5 to start? I think we need to try to play 10 players, but what's the chemistry when the substitution pattern and who plays well with whom? And there's a lot of experimenting that's going to have to go on in the next month or two to try to find the right rotations.
Yeah, I may be eating crow, but I like I hope, John, we can develop a little during the season debate, because I'm a Holloway fan. Now, when he's bad, he's bad. But I really think he's going to step up this year. And I really think he's going to be a more major contributor. He's not going to be Mark Sears for sure. He's got a majorly different game than Mark Sears, but I think he's going to be much better this year than he was last year. Just his lows will be a lot higher. Just kind of like we say, Ty's lows are a lot higher than Milrose. Same idea.
Well, and Philon, guys, I think Philon and Holloway are each going to average 18 to 20 points a game this year.
Yeah, me too.
And Philon, what did he average? Like 11 points a game last year? And he'd score 28 and then he'd score 5. And he did not, his lows were pretty bad, and then he could have a great game. And even in the tournament, in our tournament run in those 4 games, he had 2 really good games, and 2 games where it's like, I don't even know what he was doing out there. And he's going to be one of the leaders of the team. I've seen him hit some nice step back threes. His offensive game seems to be better. Holloway can certainly score in bunches. So I'm looking for those 2 guys. I'm counting on 40 points a game out of those 2 guys. Now, here's what I'm concerned about is in the first 2 preseason games that don't count. You know what their assist to turnover ratio is?
What?
1-to-1.
Wow.
Yeah. They got to have a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Those guys have got to take better care of the ball. I just don't want him to be reckless, and I don't want Aiden to be a ball stopper. I don't think Phylon does it as much. I think he does look to make a move or two. If he doesn't have it, he keeps the ball moving. I think Holloway, man, he'll get out there and start going Harlem Globetrotter or this, that, and the other. And, it's like, come on, dude, keep the ball moving and get it to your teammates and run off some screens and keep it moving. Make one or two moves. If you don't have it, move the ball or don't go to the rim and get your shot blocked. I think Phylon can take it to the rim because Holloway's advantage is his quickness to the rim. But if he gets in there against a big guy, they're going to swat it away if you got a shot blocker there. So he's got to be willing to, if he's going to the rim and that shot blocker's there, kick it or pull up from mid-range. He's got the mid-range shot. So I'm optimistic about those. And they both can hit free throws. So I'm optimistic those guys are going to score a lot. Just quit turning the ball over. That's what I'm worried about.
Ball over. That's my biggest frustration with Nado's team. I mean, playing fast doesn't mean play careless,
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I'm like, quit turning the ball over and make your free throws.
Phylon definitely has size advantage over Mark Sears, but he's not as strong. And, Mark had those kind of hands of steel that he would tuck that ball in and nobody could get the ball from him unless they fouled him like an obvious foul. Phylon's the most natural candidate to replace Sears as kind of our go-to guy late in the game when we kind of need a bucket. Be curious to see if he fulfills that role.
And I think shooting wise, we've got a bunch of shooters. We know Reitzel, if he's healthy, can shoot the ball. I mean, he's really good. I think Millett's a good shooter.
He is.
Ball Bowen can shoot from three. He's a great stretch four. He can block shots. Bristow, I've been impressed with him.
Hey, I saw Williamson shoot the ball, and he had great form. I mean, really good form. I mean, he can shoot too.
He can. Yeah, they can. And supposedly Hannah and Allen can both shoot from three. And we know that Jaleel Bethea, that's his whole thing is if he's healthy, he was a 5-star and can shoot. So I think we're loaded with shooters. We've just got to be, I just don't want guys forcing up shots. Run the offense. Keep working the ball side to side, drive, kick, and drive till you get a good look. And I think we can score a ton of points. And then just don't turn the freaking ball over. That's the other thing is really value those possessions and don't have empty possessions because you're trying to do too much and you turn the ball over. I'm excited about that. Free throw shooting in the first two games. We shot 71% from the free throw line against FSU and 73% against Furman. Last year, we were a 68% free throw shooter. So that was a weakness from last year's team. I don't want to be a 73% free throw shooting team. I want to be an 80% or at least 78. I want to get in the high because those extra 2 or 3 points a game can make a big difference in winning or losing or being right there at the end. So with how many good shooters we have, I think our team's going to be a good free throw shooting team. I think our length and athleticism overall, we're going to be a much more athletic team and we're going to have good length. But I don't know that we have a shot blocker. I'm not sure who that's going to be other than Cheryl and Tyler Ball Bowen. I don't know. I don't know if we've got that.
Cheryl cannot get off the ground very well,
Yeah.
So, and Williamson, he's a big dude. It might be Ball Bowen. He's 6'10", isn't he?
He is,
He
and
may be a
Bristow
pretty
can
shot
block
blocker.
shots. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that rim. I'm not sure we're going to have good rim protectors.
Right.
Well, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard today that it's a sellout for Monday, which for a November game against, not saying they're bad, but
Right.
I would love, how awesome would that be if Coleman Coliseum's full Monday night? What a great way to start the regular season.
I would love that. The other thing I'm worried about is rebounding. And I'm just worried about our commitment to rebound because to me, defensive rebounding is all about blocking somebody out. When the ball goes up, you got to find a body and you got to put your body on them, get between them and the goal, and then go find the ball. I think we've got the athletes to do it. I just hope our team's committed to doing that.
So, hey, I'm with you. And on y'all's point earlier, again, I was doing live research, guys, live research. So to Gary's point, start off North Dakota, then the second game is number 5 in the country preseason, St. John. Number 3 game is number 1 in the country, Purdue. That's crazy. The 4th game is number 13, Illinois, then number 24 Gonzaga. I mean, this reminds me of football. It's crazy, man.
Well, you can take some losses at least in basketball. You know, we can
Right.
take two or three pre-SEC losses and still be fine. And if we go 12-6 or better, probably have a high seed because the SEC is going to be loaded again.
Right. Well, the Arizona's 17 preseason, Kentucky's 9, Tennessee's 18, Florida's 3,
Yeah.
Arkansas 14. Yeah.
14,
Auburn's
yeah.
20. Yeah, I mean, right now we're loaded with ranked teams on our schedule. And I'm sure, remember Clemson came here and beat us a couple years ago. Clemson will
Yeah.
probably
2
be
years
pretty
ago.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be pretty good too, I bet.
No, it's going to be a tough, but I will say the Nate Oates factor.
Yeah.
I believe in Nate Oates as a great coach.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I want him to
get a
learn.
faster start. Like, you know,
Uh-huh.
these big games, St. John, Gonzaga, Illinois. Hey, let's win those. You know, and I don't want 1 and 2 point losses. Let's win those. Like the Houston game last year. Do y'all remember how electric that was? That was an unbelievable game, and they were ranked number 2 at the time. And we just have weapons now. And like you're saying, John, our length. I think we may have more length than I can ever remember on our roster. Say, if you take who you think the starting 5 are and go the next 3 players off the bench, we're long everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
other than Aiden Holloway.
Yeah, I was going to say, other than Aiden Holloway, and he's just super quick and can shoot. But other than Holloway, we've got length everywhere. And if we need to go big and athletic, we can do that. If we need to go small and quick, we can do that. We've got a lot of different lineups we can use depending on what we're facing, which is really nice. And I think Oates is willing to mix it up. So I really trust him as a coach. Now, I will say this, that St. John's game, St. John's is going to be in Alabama's jock straps all night. I don't know if you guys know how hard Rick Pitino's teams always play. They always play hard. They are all over you. Rick, I guess was Pitino? No, Pitino wasn't there when you were in Kentucky.
Tubbs.
Yeah, that was
Tubby
tough.
Smith.
But Pitino's teams always play hard. They always play fast. They push, hold, grab. So that'll be a great challenge to see if we're up to that physicality and to that pace of play that they're going to put on us. I'm excited.
That game's soon. That's next week.
Yeah, yeah.
The week after.
Yeah.
The week after.
I think it's the Saturday of the LSU game. I believe it's that same day in New York.
So my 2 things I want to see are turnovers, yes, lower that number, and inbound plays.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, God. I mean, that's
Rick,
always
how many
been
times have we harped on that?
I know. Timeout. I mean, you can't throw the ball in. Fun. Crazy. How
They
many
should
times,
suit
John?
you up, Rick.
I know, John. How many times have we not seen? We saw they can't throw it in. They call a timeout, and all the timeouts for is to get the ball inbound, and then they go back in, blow the whistle, and they can't get in again. Timeout. I mean, how do you not get it? I mean, that's like church level basketball, man. Come on, it's crazy.
Yeah, yep. I agree with you on that. So lots of new faces, lots of athleticism. We got bigger, more athletic. It's going to be a working process. And I'm think about Florida last year. They brought in all those new players, and man, that chemistry worked. And I think Nate's good at figuring out how to get teams to play together and what that chemistry is. But that's probably my biggest fear, is that something doesn't mix right with this team and you just don't find the right chemistry.
So are we under or overrated at 15?
Under.
I think under. Yeah.
I think given Nate Oates, we're a top 10 team. And that's my faith in Nate Oates.
I like it.
So, all right. Any parting shots either on football or basketball as we get geared up? Man, it's going to be a busy time with football and the home stretch and the playoffs, and basketball kicking into full gear. And all right, parting shots, G Money.
My parting shot is proud of the football team, number 1, and number 2. We've always thought, and I think we're starting to arrive at this, that sort of 2-sport model, kind of like Florida has had back in the past, where their basketball teams winning championships, their football teams in contention championships. We can do it, guys. Let's keep it going in football, and let's get a strong start Monday night against North Dakota, and keep it going up in New York next Saturday.
Amen.
Yeah.
T-Pain.
Yeah, I think we're well on our way to the playoffs in football and basketball. It's just starting next week. And to your question, Gary, are we underrated? Yeah, we should probably be ranked around 6 or 7, 6, 7. Have you seen the kids do that? I don't know what that
6,
means.
7.
6, 7. Anyway, the kids think that's funny. I don't know why. But but yeah, I think that we're gonna go. Hey, what's great about basketball now, y'all, is that we don't wonder we're gonna go to the tournament. Remember how we'd always wonder, golly,
The
can we get to the
bubble.
tournament?
If I never hear the bubble
Bubble.
used in the same sense as Alabama,
I know, I
that
hate
would
that.
make me pretty happy.
Yeah, or the first first 4 out. I hate that. So yeah, I think we're gonna be in the tournament and make a run, baby.
I think we're going to be a top 4 seed in the tournament. I do. I think Oates has established that that's his level, and I think we're going to end up at least as a top 4 seed. And it's going to be a great basketball season. And we're gonna win these next 4 games. We're going to go 11-1 and go to the SEC championship. That's my strong prediction. LSU's folding. Nussmeier, not a dual threat quarterback. Mateer's hurt. DeBoer doesn't lose at home. We're going to go 3-0 in that stretch, and then we're going to go down to Auburn, and Ty's going to pull his magic. And we're a tough team. We're a gritty team. It's going to be a tough game, but we're going to pull that one out, and then we're going to go to Atlanta and see what happens. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I like
All
that.
right. Thank
Hey,
you
I
for
have
listening. All
one more
right, please.
prediction.
Yes.
One more prediction. I predict next weekend we play LSU. Bamature Hour will have 6,000 subscribers. Let's go.
Come on, people. Let's get there.
Oh,
To get there, you didn't pull the shaker out tonight, Rick. What's
right.
up?
Hold on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Good night.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening, all of you. Subscribe, like, follow, hit the notified button wherever you get the podcast, whether it's on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, and the like. God bless and roll tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.